morning and welcome to ONIF TV. My name is Sonia Cruz. A couple of things happened over the weekend. The kidnap of the Chibok girls was 5 years on the 14th of April, and they were kidnapped on the 14th of April 2014. And it has, stirred up new conversations about the whole Chibok girls incident, as all the girls were never fully, recovered from the attack. The presidency has released a statement to, identify with the parents of the Chibok girls, and the presidency has also said that it will not give up. It won't give up on the girls, on bringing them back. Now, the parents have said that the current administration has not done enough to free the girls. The current administration actually, according to the parents, used the disappearance of the girls as part of their campaign promises, and they have not delivered. The parents have said that one of the reasons why people wanted a change in government was because of the kidnap of the Chibok girls, and currently they've not seen any difference, as most of the girls are still not being returned. And it's been 5 years of being without their children. I imagine how trying the period has been for the parents, and they've come out to say that they want their girls back, and I want to commend them for the strength of not giving up. It's not easy to actually not know whether the child is still dead or alive. It takes a lot of courage to continue to come out and say that they want their children found, and we really implore the government to do everything they can to have those girls brought back. It will be a milestone for Nigeria if those girls can come back. I mean, it's really depressing to think about girls being kidnapped from school. We're advocating for education, and girls are being taken away during the process of getting their education. It has not been fair to the parents, and imagine what the girls have been going through where they are. So it hasn't been fair to any of the parties, and we implore the government to try as much as they can. Now, over the weekend also, Kingsley Moghalu, who also contested for presidency in the 2019 general election, has said that he'll be quitting partisan politics. And when he was asked what he'll do if he's offered an appointment by the current administration, he said he'll think about it, And he also went ahead to say that the Nigerian youth are a disappointment to Nigeria, and he said that they didn't do well as expected during the 2019 election. He actually put a bit of blame on the youth for the outcome of the election. And he also said that the Nigerian youth were only proactive on social media, and they didn't bring as much as the ginger, so to say, that was on social media. They didn't bring it out during the election. And now, as much as I'd like to agree with him that there was apathy during the 2019 general elections, but I also think that, my opinion though, I also think that it's not really right to say that the youth are a disappointment, so to say. A number of people did not come out to vote, but if you follow the trend and you look at the things that the whole process of the election and the motion that was set in place. For example, the election was moved on the supposed day of the election. It was moved a week. And there are a lot of people that traveled to other parts of Nigeria to vote, as you have to vote in the same place as which you registered your voter's card. Now that's really a bit of an issue for the election, like having to vote exactly where you registered. I mean, a lot of people don't even work where they registered. Some people who registered when they were 7 during NYSC, and now they're no longer in those places. Are you saying that I have to go back to wherever it is that I served to vote during the election? There are sacrifices that we should make, definitely, for the development of the nation, but people had already made those sacrifices the first time, and asking them to go back again, a lot of people were not even interested in going back again. So there were other factors that contributed to apathy, and saying that the youths are actually a disappointment. I think everybody wants a different Nigeria, and everybody actually wants development, you understand, and it's just really somehow putting that amount of blame on the youths and that. And you know, there's another thing that happens on social media. Polls are not done on social media. Election doesn't take place on social media. People come to social media to rant and say a lot of things, and physically they would not show up, you know, when it's time for action and all of that. And now, analyzing the result of an election by opinions on social media might have been a wrong thing, you know, to do on its part, taking into account the level at which we are in Nigeria presently is not. It's I think that it was a miscalculation on his part if he was thinking that the enthusiasm that he saw on social media was the same enthusiasm he was going to get during the election. I mean, a lot of things should have served as precedents for us to actually know that a lot of people actually talk on social media, and when it comes to delivering for real, they cannot do that. So I feel that there are a lot of other factors that should be put in consideration before saying the Nigerian youths are a disappointment. Now, okay, there's been so much of court clashes during the weekend and over the course of the previous week, and the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has declared an open war on cultism in the state. There was a recent cultist attack on Saturday in Ajah, Lagos State, and it left a lot of people beheaded. Although 2 suspects have been arrested in relation to those attacks. But you know, cultism is actually a thing that should really be a thing of concern in Nigeria right now, because it's becoming too much. You know, it's becoming really too much. You know, Nigerians in Malaysia, Nigerian cultists in Malaysia actually having an open war in a different country. It's really becoming an eyesore, and having, you know, the name of the country tagged to so many things that has to do with insecurity is not doing well, you know, for the nation. But we're definitely sure that something is being done on that, as the Nigerian police has definitely said that they'll be, you know, that they won't take it lightly with cultists. And the governor of Rivers State, we're hoping governors also take a clue from that and declare open war on these people. Now, there was over the weekend also, there's this couple from Sokoto, a 17-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl, who released their pre-wedding pictures. They were going to get married over the weekend. And now, they said, according to the reports, it said that the family of the boy in question actually get married very early, and that the guys get married usually when they're 17 and the girls are 15, and it's only in rare cases that the guys are 19 before they get married. Now, this issue of will I call it child marriage? I think, do we have a legal age in Nigeria for this thing? I think to be an adult in Nigeria, don't you have to be like 18? Well, the conversations that have been opened on social media concerning this issue, as you know, has come to talk about what's the legal aspect of these marriages that occur between children of people of under 18. And also, people have also been saying, well, it's much better than a 60-year-old man marrying a 13-year-old girl. I mean, that marrying somebody of that, teenagers marrying each other, is actually better than, you know, being a child bride. And you know, as much as I'd agree with that, I want to believe that, do these people actually know what they're doing? You know, at this point, like, they're less than 18, the both of them, and they want to get married. Marriage is supposed to be like a lifelong, you know, thing. And as much as I'd like to wish them the best of luck, like, they don't need it. And also to, you know, say that, do we have is there a legal implication, like, can the marriage be annulled eventually because they were both not 18 yet when they got married? Is the marriage even legal in the first place? Is it binding? Do they, like, have a legal backing for what they're doing? That's my opinion, though. I want to know, like, you should comment in the comment sections. You know, let's talk about this. Like, it's becoming pretty rampant in Nigeria, Africa these days, where you see teenagers getting married. I remember a case in one of the African countries where an SS3 boy, like a certificate class holder, he proposed to his girlfriend in school. I mean, like, let's talk about this. What's your opinion on child marriage and stuff like that? And what's just your opinion about it? And lawyers in the house, let's know what's the legal implication. Is the marriage, is it even binding? Is it legal in the first place? Yeah, but that's that on that. Now, before I move on to other news, there's also something I'd like to talk about. There's been so many cases recently of pedophiles and rape and people being arrested for being pedophiles and rapists, and that. And it's disheartening, really, the rate at which it's coming, it's being talked about now. Now, one thing I also discovered, or one thing I want to know is that as this phenomenon being a regular occurrence before, and maybe the advent of social media and the fact that people are being taught to speak out these days, is that what's making these issues really popular? Is it that it has been in existence before, and now the fact that there's so many opportunities to talk about it is why we're hearing of so many cases? Or is it that it's like a thing that is in the air right now? Like, let's also know about that. We've heard about it. It's not even a girl thing anymore. It's not girls that have been really abused. You have little boys having the stories, and there was a discussion on social media one of the days last week about a guy came out to talk about his experience. He's grown now, but he talked about being abused as a child by an auntie, and a lot of guys, men, came out to talk about their own experiences, and you realize that, wow, this thing is actually so much, and it's something that really should be talked about. Like, what do you think? Is it because of social media and the fact that people are being encouraged to talk about it, that it's becoming very rampant and popular these days? Or is it, like it has always been like that? Or is it that there's something that is being a cause these days? We should really talk about that, and you should also encourage your children, male or female, girls and boys, to speak out. Nobody should touch you inappropriately and stuff like that. They should know what inappropriate gestures are even, and so that we curb this menace in the society once and for all. Now, moving on, Coachella has been on, and we have our very own Mr. Easy and Burna Boy that performed at Coachella last weekend, and it was amazing. Burna Boy's performance was electrifying. He did the Zanko thing, and everywhere was crazy, and it was really beautiful. Nigeria to the world, people. Now, finally, Tiger Woods made his comeback this weekend on Sunday, where he reclaimed his title. Tiger Woods moved to 6th place during his 15th major title to cement an epic return from an injury that he had in 2014. Scandals and injury. That was like an 11-year gap. Tiger Woods in when he stopped playing, he had injuries that threatened to ruin his career. He got a divorce. He divorced under his ex-wife now, divorced him under the case of infidelity, and he lost half of his money and properties to the divorce settlement. And he came back, the 43-year-old man came back to win his title again, and it was really, really epic. And you needed to see the way social media, I'm very sure that everybody saw the way social media was agog with wishes to Tiger Woods, and everybody was really happy. It's great to see him come back, like that. And when he won $2 million. That's $2.7 million after winning. That was his win. And he immediately won. He hugged his mom and he hugged his children, and you could really see how emotional it was for the whole family, and we're so happy for Tiger Woods. And I'll be rounding up on that happy note. It was so nice being here. My name is Praise. Keep watching.